It's like the second time.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I'll edit it. All right. All right. Welcome in, you guys. You are listening to Andrea Kanoki with From Mrs. to Ms. Today, I have a little bit of a special treat for you. I wanted to get the male perspective, the male side of so many different things. So I have brought on one of my dear friends, possible previous dater. I don't know what we call
Yeah, you can
kind
say
of.
that.
Kind of. I have Shervin with me today. He is the host of the highly acclaimed podcast Hidden Innuendos. He also has his TikTok live called Heartbreak Hotline. He talks about heartbreak, dating, and love. Shervin, hi.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. I'm so good. How are you?
I'm doing great now. You look
Yeah,
amazing.
I do.
You always
Thanks.
look
I was
amazing. Just kidding.
I mean, I make effort, so that's good. We've discussed that in the past. So for those of you that are joining us, whether you're watching on YouTube or you're listening in, Shervin and I go a little bit back. I'm going to catch you up to speed here. So he and I met on the dating app. I don't even remember which one at this point. Hinge, maybe. I don't know. I troll them all once in a while. And we met on there and we had a first date. It was our first and our last date, but for reasons that were very specific, nothing to do with either one of us personally. And we had a really good time. And so on our last episode that we did together, I was on Shervin's podcast, Hidden Windows, and we talked all about the date. We actually rated each other, which was really kind of fun. I liked that. I never
It
got to
was.
like rate somebody to their face. That's what made it super fun because I had to be like, oh, do I go with the truth here or do I just make them feel like good? I went with the truth and you still came out with a higher score than I did. So
That's right.
woohoo for you.
I left the kettle at home here. I apologize.
That's all right. That's all right. So he is joining me now on my show today because we're going to talk about just some guy stuff because I really don't get the guy perspective a whole lot. So I want to talk about a few different things. I want to talk about like the older women versus younger women perspective from a guy's perspective. I want to talk about dating profiles. I want to talk about maybe like debunking some myths of men, I think is a really good thing to talk about. And then we're just going to shoot the shit. Am I right?
Heck yeah. I
Heck
love it.
yeah, heck yeah. Well, I want to
I love
start out with before we get into actual like angles here. I want to talk about the last time you and I talked. You were headed somewhere, and I've been dying to hear this story because you said, "Hey, I can't chat right now. I just landed in Connecticut, if I can say
Connecticut.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Connecticut, and I'm." Well, you didn't quite say it, but you were seeing about a girl. And you said we can talk about it on the podcast. So I've been waiting. I'm waiting to hear about what was this all about? How'd you meet? Is it a girl
Yeah.
girl or is this just a girl that you were like, follower girl?
No, this is actually a very random story, a very typical dating app story. However, it was not on any of the three pillar dating apps that we normally go on. It was on Duet of all apps. And I
Like
hardly
as
ever
in
go on
do
it.
what? Like that?
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
what?
exactly. What?
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, so we matched, and here's the crazy thing too is that apparently Duet does not hone in on your neighborhood or within a 10 or 20 mile radius. They actually go the whole spectrum. So her and I happen to match on opposite sides of the country. She's from Connecticut, and I'm from Southern
Yeah,
California.
yeah.
So I don't know how we matched. However, we were off to a great start. The conversation flow was just it just flowed. There was no
Mm.
hiccups. There was no, what do I say next? Something
Mm-hmm.
happened. I don't know what, but the energy that day was on fire. And on top of that,
Interesting.
what was a really good game changer was we celebrated the same birthday. So the conversation kicked in where we started talking about random stuff. But then once we got to the birthday, when we both shared our same birthday, there was something that helped unite and spark the conversation even more. There was a lot more
Mm,
interest in the previous 20 minutes.
love it.
Yeah. So I guess
Okay.
it's an amazing feeling that when you are on the dating app, yeah, you get all the boiler questions out of the way. But if there's
Mhm,
one thing that really resonates with the both of you, I think
mhm.
that there's like an internal spark that just says, oh my gosh, like I am even more interested now than I was previously because we have something incredibly in common about. So now my
Yeah.
curiosity is going to flow tenfold.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, so I have a question there. So
Yeah.
do you normally set your radius like on other dating sites? Do you have like a location that you like to stay in? Or are you like, I don't care, I'll go wherever to find love?
Well, my past experience, I've had some long distance relationships with one girl that I was in love with her, and we were in love together. We were in a relationship, but unfortunately, because of that proximity, it was not proximity. It was just long
Mm,
distance. It just didn't work. But right now, the Connecticut woman and I, we're having fun. We've been
okay.
talking a lot, almost every day.
Okay.
So yeah, going back to what I was saying, is that when I went to Connecticut, when I went to go visit her, she was so cute. She told me to meet her at this restaurant,
Uh-huh.
and I was in my Uber driving around to
Uh,
the restaurant, and she sends me a text message. She's like, "Meet me in the back." I was like, "Oh, okay."
oh, Mile High
So I
Club.
told the Uber
Okay, what?
driver, yeah, I was like, well, "All right, game on." Let me just pop my Cialis. No, I'm just kidding. Um, no, so I told the Uber driver to go in the back, and all of a sudden, I happened to see this person in this bear costume, and I was like, "That's so weird. Like, who would do that?" I was like, "Wait a minute, hold on. That bear's holding a sign that says "Welcome, Shervin, to Connecticut." So
Oh
it had to
my
be
God.
her. Yeah, she was disguised, and I'll show you a picture. It was her disguised in the bear costume, and with the
Okay.
sign saying "Welcome, Shervin." So I went from curiosity, like, what's going on here, to, oh my gosh, like no one has ever done that before. No woman has ever
Yeah.
done something like that. So I was
Yeah.
very, and then we're off to a good start from there. We had a nice dinner together. We were getting to know each other a lot more, and then yeah, we got intimate.
Okay.
So
Okay.
and
Okay. I
we're still
love that.
yeah.
And you're still hanging out. How long did you talk before you're like, I'm flying to Connecticut, man?
Yeah, we actually were talking for about a good 3 weeks.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I
Yeah.
think that's a good amount. I like that. Okay. And what's the age proximity? Like, where is that lying in there? She have kids? I have so many questions. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, yeah. So I'm 46 and she's
Yeah.
40. Just turned 40 and she's
Okay.
got one daughter. Um,
Okay.
she's 5 years old. So,
Okay. Huh.
but
And
again,
so
mind
you
you,
like,
we're on opposite sides of the country. I'm going to keep reiterating that just that way you and everyone know that
oh, yeah.
I'm freaking
That
crazy.
is I wasn't gonna say it. I mean, like I might do, like Arizona or Vegas or something that's pretty darn quick, but you're talking a whole day of flying just to get there.
Oh yeah,
And
multiple
yeah,
flights.
okay. So this
Yeah,
is like that's effort though, Shervin. That is such effort. Like I would see that as wow, this man is serious. Like he's serious about coming to meet me, But how long realistically without her listening, do you think this could sustain itself? Like, how long could that really go on for?
yeah, that's a great question. And her and I had this conversation multiple times, and we both said we both like each other. She's actually
Hmm.
going to come out next week to see me, but we do know
Mm.
realistically, is this a healthy relationship? Some people
Hmm.
say, "Well, hey, if you love each other, go for it." But no, we got to be realistic. She's got
Hmm.
a young daughter. She can't move. I have
Hmm.
slightly younger kids. I can't move. So the
So where does that
possibilities
go,
of being
though?
together, yeah, we're just having fun. We're
Okay.
just having fun. We're not going to get too heavily emotionally involved with each other.
Famous last words,
So,
people. You heard it here. That's
but it's hard.
always the one that goes that way. You know that. Always the one that you're like, yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We know where our boundaries are, we know the circumstances, and then somehow I mean, I don't know. I hope either way it goes great. If you want it to at that point, who knows? Because maybe a year from now,
Yeah,
it could be a whole different situation.
you tell me this: if it were in your situation,
Hmm.
would you be telling yourself, "All right, am I all in, or am I just going to piecemeal it because I know that the odds are against us?" However,
Hmm.
who's going to tell us that we can't have fun?
Nobody, nobody. I'm more
Yeah,
of an all in girl, though. Like, I'm like, if we're going to make the
yeah,
effort, we're going to make the effort. Like, why
yeah.
bother?
Well, effort is being made. There's
Yeah.
effort being made. However, we can't put all of our eggs in that basket because again, we know that it just can't work right now. But we're doing the best we can to make it work for the part-time per
For
se.
yeah.
Let's just call it a part-time relationship. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. I like it. This is very
It's hard.
exciting. I'm like, it is
Yeah.
hard. I know we're kind of making jokes about it, but it is hard. And sometimes you have to just get out of LA too, like out of this area, right? And find somebody that's just that you do have that connection with, and it just feels different. And life's too short not to make the efforts. I say all the time, I'm like, you're not always going to just find your soulmate in your backyard. So why not?
It would be nice if we could, though.
Wouldn't it?
It's literally like the biggest backyard, the prettiest backyard in the world, and we don't even want to play in it because we feel like it's just tarnished.
It's tarnished. So true. So true. All right. Well, I like that story. I thank you for sharing. And we're going to touch base on that later because I like updates on what is going on with Miss Connecticut. Okay. So you're going to keep me updated on that?
To be continued, absolutely.
To be continued. You guys, we had the best relationship, Shervin and I, because like I said, we went out on a date. It didn't totally work out for reasons. Well, we'll just say because he had younger kids, as he just kind of mentioned a little bit ago. And it works with this other girl because she's got a kid too, right? So that's kind of good.
Yeah.
So it just didn't work out for us, but we have become like really good friends. And he's been on my podcast. I've been on his. I went on live. We're just kind of, doing this together a little bit because we both have some really great insight to share. And I think it's always good to get it from a women's perspective and a men's perspective as well. So with that being said, I'm going to just change it up here and I'm going to ask you some questions from a man's perspective because this is very exciting to me because I'm always wondering what the man is thinking in these situations. So if you had to think about what is the biggest misconception that you hear about men in regards to commitment, what do you think is the biggest misconception? Are we all like, none of them want to commit? They just want to have a good time. We're just having fun.
I get that. Women, I get that. And I'll tell you this, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I actually had this conversation yesterday with an Uber driver, and he and I had a very good conversation. And when I told him this, he did not disagree. And I'll just tell you this. Women, if a man tells you that they don't think about sex, they're full of it.
Mm-hmm.
Every man on this planet, gay or straight, is constantly thinking about sex. However,
Constantly.
what separates
Constantly.
constantly,
Okay.
constantly, it's on our brain all the time. No man is ever going to deny that. If they do, they are full of shit. Can I cuss?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. So I'm going to tell you that. However, and I'll get to what your question is. However, what separates the men from the boys, if you will, is that for those men who also do think about sex all the time, what we're also looking and craving and desiring is compatibility.
Mm.
That is what
Okay.
I am craving, is a woman where I can have that compatibility, I can have that compassion, that reassurance, that reciprocity, knowing that she's
Mm-hmm.
got my back,
Huge.
I've got hers, that we are at with each other in more our worst days than our best days.
Mm.
And guess what? The sex will always be there because you will
Mm-hmm.
make it spicy. You will make it enticing. So not only do you
Mm-hmm.
have that friendship level, but you have that compassion. You've got that sexual, emotional drive that you and your woman or you and your man can both share.
Mm.
So yes, men are constantly thinking about sex. However, what real men truly, truly want is compatibility that goes along with that sex.
Mm.
So
I
yes,
like
there are
that.
men like myself who want commitment. Oh, sorry, you're going to say something.
Go for it. I was just saying I like that.
Well, I was going to say, for a man like myself who have been through the ups and downs, who went through hell, let's just say that, and came out of it,
Mm.
I definitely know that I want one woman. I do not want to be dating constantly, and I don't plan on dating for a long period of time because I know my worth. I am
Mm-hmm.
like that McRib sandwich. I'm only here for a limited time. And I don't mean that on this planet. I'm talking about being single.
Yeah.
Because once that woman gets a hold of me, she better well damn know that I've got the greatest guy on the planet, and vice versa. And I will make that known to my woman, let her know I am so blessed to have found you, and there's no one else that I want more than.
Oh,
So
I
to answer
like
your question,
this.
men do want that. Men do want a committed relationship with one woman.
They do. So, and I always say that because a lot of times we kind of go, the guys will put on there, they just want a casual fun time or something. Or I hate when that's one of the first questions. So what are you looking for? And I used to ask it myself, and and it kind of, there was no point to the question because it was like, they'll tell you usually what you want to hear, unfortunately, but sometimes you are also going, well, I just want something fun and casual. But should this great man come along, like you just described, somebody that you're compatible with, that you have chemistry with, that you have amazing conversations with, all of the good things, that's going to change, right? Like that's going to then be like, oh, well, I thought I just wanted a casual fun time, but actually I'm really digging this guy or girl and I want to see where this goes. So then it might turn into a long-term relationship that you totally didn't expect, right? So I don't know. Whenever I see it on the dating profiles, I tend to go, and sometimes they have mixed answers. They'll be like fun, casual dates, long-term relationship, monogamy, non-monogamy, non-ethical monogamy. I'm like, which is it? What are you?
Well, just so you know, I see it on the women's side as well. A lot of these women are
Okay.
saying, you know what, I want short term, okay with short, okay with friendship.
Uh-huh.
Do I hardly ever come across long term? Not as often as I used to a few years ago. That's for sure.
Ooh,
Women have
that's
changed it
interesting.
around because, yeah. So, think piecemeal it, if you will. Like, I know
Hmm.
your mind is thinking wedding bells, and next year I'm going to invite him to my Christmas party to meet my favorite uncle and my mom and dad. That sounds great, right? You manifest that, but that's not going to happen tomorrow,
No,
right?
no.
You got to set really small goals for yourself. First one is
Hmm.
communication. When you match with
Hmm.
that person, you got to communicate with each other, and then
Hmm.
you got to go to the next level. And that's real life conversation. That means like talking on the phone, FaceTiming, and then you accelerate to actually physically seeing each other. And
Hmm.
then you would not be intimate until, I always say, if you make it to round three, date number three, that
Hmm.
is going to be the surefire big night where you and that person are going or should have an intimate night together.
Mm, okay. So how many days were you in Connecticut? No, I'm just kidding.
4 nights.
Let me see.
4 nights.
I'm just teasing. Yeah, I totally agree. I think a lot of, I can only speak for the women, a lot of women go in with dating for potential. And I would do that too, right? Like, and it's hard not to. You go on a date with somebody, and especially when you've been dating for a while, you get a little bit more specific and granular about what you are looking for. So when you think you found that, you can't help but start thinking of the future and the potential of this person, right? But then sometimes when we're thinking too far ahead and we're not being in the moment, we're missing all of the great things that are going on or the red flags because we're so far past it. So I
Bingo.
think that's a really good point. But yeah, regarding the commitment, I'm happy to hear that actually, because it feels like, with so much going on out in the world these days, temptation, the dating apps, all of these opportunities for people to meet more than one person at a time rather than organically in a bar or grocery store. I think that just kind of feeds to guys being like, why would I get into a long term relationship when I can have all of these other things? But you made a good point that at the end of the day, we're all craving compatibility and those conversations, the deep conversations, the quality time, all of those things. And you can't get that with a one night stand.
You
So,
can't. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I think that's
Let
good.
me ask you a question.
Mm,
Uh, Someone asked me this yesterday, and I wanted to get your thought on this.
mhm,
What is the magic number? How many months, when it comes to friends with benefits, how many
mm.
months do you give it for it to be just friends with benefits until there actually becomes real emotions involved?
Well, are you wanting real emotions? That
No.
are you want?
Well,
Okay,
I'm not saying me,
you're
I'm saying
wanting it
in
to
general.
stay.
Right, friends with
Hmm.
benefits. How many months does it take for you to reach that certain point to where it's no longer friends with benefits, but it's friends with benefits with emotions involved?
I think it comes on a lot quicker than people think it's going to. And I'll tell you why. I think it's because when you are getting with somebody that's a friends with benefits, you have that easygoing relationship. It makes it very easy. You call them up to come over, you sit and chill, watch movie. There's no pressure. You can have sex. You don't have to think about all of the other things that makes you nervous or going through, having these dates. So I feel like your emotions start to come in quicker than you are expecting them to because of the comfort level there. We sometimes mistake that and go, oh my God, like I wasn't expecting this to be so comfortable with him and it's easy. So then you kind of start going, oh, I kind of like him like that. And I had this happen when I first moved to California and I started hanging out with a guy that right off the bat, we were just like, hey, let's just hang out. Let's kind of be a friends with benefits. And I started to get feelings fairly quickly, probably for multiple reasons on that one, because I was much closer to having been divorced. I was in a new state, new city, new town. And he was the first guy that I was hanging out with here. So maybe that threw it off a little bit, but it was really difficult because once you start having those feelings, it changes the dynamic of that friends with benefits and makes it very, very difficult. But so timeline specifically, for me, it would probably be I shouldn't go past a couple months unless I know, like I, sorry.
Sorry, please.
That's okay. I had a friends with benefits earlier on in 2025, and I went into it very, very clear, very specific on exactly what I wanted and what I was looking for, and I, in no other words, just kind of told him like, "Hey, there is no future for us. I do not see a future for us. I know what I'm looking for, what I want." And unfortunately, he wasn't it. And I just knew that. I just knew he wasn't going to be. So I was very upfront. So that was kind of like, if you want to engage in this with me, then cool, let's do that. But I'm letting you know right now. And so I stuck to that the whole time. It was closer to 6 months that it ran for, much longer than it should have. I know. Once again, because it was easy, it was comfortable. The sex was great. I mean, there was so much good stuff about it. And I think because I set those boundaries up front, the parameters, it made it easier for me just to keep it going. Cause I'm like, no, we're not going to have that. I know we're not going to, I told him up front, but in the end I could totally tell that switch, and he had feelings in the end, and then I had to cut it off.
So
Did I
I'll
answer
tell you
that in a roundabout way?
I'll tell you the magic number.
Oh,
Sorry, give me 1 sec here. Sorry,
mhm.
So the magic number they say is 3 months.
Whoa, you went really loud. Hold on 1 second. You went super loud all of a sudden. Something you just hit. It sounded good. What you did. Talk for me?
Talk.
Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they say the magic number is 3 months before you actually start to fall in love with someone.
Okay. I think that's a fair amount of time.
Yeah. So again, to be fair, to be safe, I always cut off the friends with benefits within 2 months, like you said.
Yeah.
Because even though and again, don't get me wrong, we get emotional when we are intimate with someone, men as well. There's some emotions, don't get me wrong. However, if you are getting too emotional after that second month, and you know this person is not the one for you, you're just there, or she's just there for sexual desire, or for sexual void,
Placeholder.
then you need to have that talk and say, I'm sorry, I don't want to push this any more than it has to be. I don't want to drag this on because I don't see a future with you. And you just got to tell them. You can't just sugarcoat it. You just got to rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
They may not like you for that minute, but I promise you this. I guarantee you they will respect you. If you say it correctly, if you let them down and let them know why, they will not like you. They'll be pissed at you for the first 5 minutes, but they will respect you.
Yeah. And how can they not if those if those things are set up front or during, the process of it, it is what it is. And I don't know. I just think you have to rip the Band-Aid off on that. It's so hard to let that linger on and then
Yeah.
try to get out of it. That's hard.
Yeah. But if you are
Yeah.
going to do that, if both of you are consenting parties, you both need to talk about this. And yes, I am being serious. You do need to sit down and talk about this. Is that you and
Mm-hmm.
I are now in this verbal agreement that we are going to enter the friends of benefit zone. Here are some ground rules. And there are rules. Anyone that
Mm-hmm.
says there are no rules, bullshit. There are ground
I
rules
agree.
that need to be set in stone when it comes to friends of
Yeah.
benefits. And the emotions is
What
probably
are
the
a couple of those rules you would say?
first rule is this: once you and I are done, we have to get our stuff back. Either you mail them to me or you deliver them to me or vice versa, whatever it is, right?
Okay.
Because you will start to get comfortable with that person. You'll probably borrow his or her favorite shirt. You'll
Mm-hmm.
probably have a toothbrush there, which I know they'll
Mm-hmm.
probably throw away. So certain
Mm-hmm.
items may be left at that person's house. But it is fair for you to get that back later down the road once it's over,
Yeah.
right? Second
Okay.
is that if you and I are in a friends with benefit zone, that means that you and I are possibly still dating other people. However,
Mm.
if you decide that you want to sleep with that other person, you should, and actually, let me rephrase that, you have to tell me, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not fair for me knowing that you are not hanging out with me tonight because you're going out with some other guy or you're sleeping with him at the same time. So no, I
Mm-hmm.
do not want to be plan B.
Mm.
I'm plan A.
Yeah. Ooh.
So if that happens, then this contract is
Yep.
null and void.
Yep. Interesting. Do you think, just referencing your plan A and plan B, don't you think a friends with benefits is usually the plan B?
No, well, I'm saying that if you are in a friends with benefits, like let's say if you and I are in a friends with benefits zone, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm like, hey Andrew, what are you doing tomorrow night? Oh, I'm going out. I know what that means.
Yeah.
You're going out on a
Yeah.
date. And then if you tell me, Shervin, or you tell me tomorrow or Saturday, I went on a date, I slept with him, and I just wanted you to know that. You tell me that
Mm.
afterwards, before you and I are going to get together.
Not
Like I
happening.
said, it's going to sting. I'm going to be a little pissed at you, but I'm plan A, right? I'm friends with benefits A. You kind of just put him as your new number one now. So you
Mm.
kind of overseeded my boundaries with him, with you. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, well, you know what? Thanks for telling me. Good luck with him. I don't want any more
Mm-hmm.
part of this.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I can see that. And it's a lot of it's establishing those ground rules up front, right? Because if you say that, you need to establish up front if you can or even are allowed, using it loosely, to sleep with other people. Like, that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of weird, that whole thing. It's a very tricky situation, I think, right? To kind of
but this
navigate
is
it when you're
we're
sleeping.
adults. We're mature adults. We pay taxes. If you're telling me,
Oh, you're
I
right.
mean, think about that. If you're telling me that you can't tell me that you're sleeping with other people, what does that really tell me about you? That you're just not a confident person. That you just hide
Yeah.
things from me. You hide things from yourself. And you probably hide things
Yeah.
from that other guy and that other guy and so on and so forth. So I don't
Yeah.
really trust you anymore.
Mm. I kind of meant it was tricky sleeping with more than one person, but yeah, that
Well,
too.
that's
It's
backfired a couple times. Well, yeah.
right. It's weird. It is a little weird. And yeah, I don't know. It feels weird from a woman's perspective. This might be a great question for how it feels different from a man's perspective. From a woman's perspective, it does feel a little hoish, a little dirty, a little slutty when we're doing that. Not in the moment, but later when you think back and you're like, oh, I did kind of sleep with that guy. And I always have a hard time telling or talking to my girlfriends about it. Most of them are married, so that's usually a hard thing too, because they're already in this committed relationship, so they don't fully get it. But it makes me seem like, oh, they're like, oh God, she's just sleeping with that guy and that guy. Like, that's how they would think. So it's a little weird,
Do you know what
whole
the funny
thing.
thing is too? And I'm sure you probably hear this all the time, is that the women who cannot see themselves with that guy, what did they
Mhm.
do? They go ahead and succumb themselves to go and say, you know what, I'm going to go and sleep with this guy because I'm never going to see him again. When I hear
Yeah.
that, I'm like, what are you doing? Right? Like,
What's
are
the
you being
thought
serious?
process?
Yeah, that's like, I'm just gonna kamikaze this shit because I don't really care about myself. I have no respect for myself
Yeah.
whatsoever. But because he looks hot, he sounds all right, and I got nothing else going on tonight, I'm just gonna let it go because I haven't had sex in a year and a half.
Yeah.
But when I hear that, I'm like, women, you're kind of contradicting yourself like to the max here. Here you are telling me that
Yeah.
you have a connection with a guy, and then here you are sleeping with random dudes that you've only met for 2.5 hours at a Chili's happy hour.
The queso is the bomb.
Yeah. What do you want though? Well, what do you women
Yeah.
want? And this goes back to questions. What are you looking for? No, you first. You tell me what you're looking for.
Mm. I'm always, almost always looking for like a long-term relationship eventually.
Almost
That's I
all.
think the end goal for everybody. Almost always. I just said minus the few friends with benefits. I'll throw them out. But yeah, I I don't know why we're not all looking for that. Who wants to be on the dating apps forever? Who wants to be doing this dating thing where you're telling the same stories over and over again? You're like, it just becomes like a little bit monotonous and routine, and it just feels nice to have an actual connection with somebody that you're building and you're learning about them, and then you can use that information at a later time and actually stay connected that way. I think that's really the goal. That's pretty cool to have
I
that.
will tell you this, and I've said this many times. I love dating apps. I think dating apps are do what they're supposed to do, and I feel
Hmm.
like people are always blaming dating apps. I say this all the time. Like, I hate dating apps. You're on a dating app. No one is
Mm.
telling you that you have to be on a dating app. No one's putting a gun to your head saying you have to be on a dating app. You can choose not to be. But if you are
Yeah.
going to be on a dating app, you've got to be putting both foot in because this is not a half-ass situation. If you are telling me you want long-term, you want relationship, that's like
Yep.
buying a house. This is a huge investment. This is an emotional
Hmm.
investment that you are putting yourself into. So don't treat it like a game and don't treat it like, yeah, if it works great, if not, I'm okay with that. No, that is a piss poor attitude. You got to go
Mm.
in there saying, all right, I am excited that I get to choose. You have the power and the choice to find your person. Be excited about that.
I know. And I love that you're saying that actually, because a lot of people do have that mentality and they are doing a half ass job and putting half ass effort in. And then they're like, the dating apps suck. I can't find anybody. And I see it all the time. And so I actually did a little experiment the other day because I'm like, I want to like help people with their dating profiles. You and I have
What's
talked about this before. People need some help out there, what pictures to use, the prompts to say, stuff like that. So I was like, I found this random guy. It was on Facebook, so I wouldn't get in trouble for soliciting. And I just, I matched with him. He had already liked me, so I matched with him. It was never going to happen. So I matched with him, and then I just kind of said, hey, I see that you are trying to date intentionally based on some of your things. You have so much potential for a better profile. Would you like me to give you a couple of tips? I'm just trying it out, see how it
yeah.
does. He came back and this profile, Shervin, was like, there was a couple random pictures, like one word responses to everything, zero effort, right? And he's like, I think I'm fine. I don't put much effort into this. I'm never going to find anybody. And I'm like, oh, there's the attitude, buddy, and that's the mentality of it. Right. And then I think he even came back and said, it doesn't matter. I get whatever I want anyways. And I'm like,
Do you?
mm, do you? I know. And so I say that because he should have taken my help, first of all, because that is a lot of the problem is that they want to do the absolute bare minimum and they're expecting to find something spectacular. And so,
Bingo.
like you said, if you're already making the effort to go on there to create a profile, why not at least make it something that stands out, that's something substantial, that has some decent photos where you're not stuck with 4 or 5 other people in the photo with you and you're like, I don't even know which one he is. Just really make an effort to do extra little things. Like, I don't need a picture of the dinner you ate, the food you ate for dinner. I'm not what am I dating here? I'm not dating you as a child. Why is there a child photo of you? It's so random these days. And that's why I think a lot of us get frustrated, because it feels like the effort is not being made on the other side. So it's interesting to hear that it sounds like it's the same for the women, for you.
Oh, it's horrible. There's sometimes I'll even comment and say, "Do a better job."
I think maybe we are on to something here. I shouldn't even put it on here. We should trademark this. We should create an actual app where we can go in and somehow like give them advice, or go, come on, dude, or like try harder, or fix this, or you know, I even say when I want to unmatch somebody, Shervin, and I want to just like unmatch them and I have something to say, I almost want to say what I want to say, and then I want to wait around for their response, and then I'll match them, right? Because we kind of want to see. I feel like there should be a tab where you can give your last remark.
Wait, say that again? Hold on. I wanna make sure I heard this correctly.
Okay, so if I'm talking to somebody, they do something that I'm just like, oh, gross, I've got the ick now, or I don't want to continue this conversation, or I
What is
want to say what you just
what
said.
what's the ick, though? Tell me what the ick is.
It's most likely something they said having to do with where they go into like the sexual innuendos, or like talking
Oh,
about your body parts, or wow, I bet you look great in a bikini, or something like that, where I'm just like, yeah, uh, it's not what
how
I'm
often
looking for.
how often
Oh, well, I mean, a lot of them, some will start it that way, and that's an immediate unmatch for me. I just don't, I'm
Right.
past that, right? Like, who needs that? Uh, Quite often where they start going down that path. And if they just left it in this conversation that is reciprocated, that is has meaning, has an actual engaging conversation that's not chat GPT, I think that you can get exactly what you got with Connecticut, is that you're then feeling like, wow, we're actually like engaging here. This is so nice to be having a conversation with somebody that is asking questions back, that is really engaging with me. Because that's the other thing. You ask a question, they answer it with a statement. Crickets. Then you like ask another question, they do a statement. It's got to be like two questions and I'm out. Two questions, I'll give you a statement of bye bye. Like, that's how's it going to change later?
It's crazy how short of attention span we have. It's no bigger than a fruit fly.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
it's sad too because you see on the men's side, I see this constantly on the women's side. I
Yeah.
can't tell you how many times I get flatlined, and I'm like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah.
You know? And I know that, yes, like we talked about, there's an abundance of people on online dating apps. However, that doesn't give you the right to treat me like I'm a piece of like a
Mm,
banana peel or a cigarette butt. Like, I'm a
mm,
human being. I'm a fantastic
hmm.
human being, and I think I deserve a lot more respect than you ignoring me. And I think that kind of says a lot about you, is that if you are constantly ignoring people, then you know what? I will see you. Actually, I definitely won't see you because you'll probably still be on here 6 years from now.
Yeah, that is the repetitive, although
Yeah.
we're still on there.
But I'm again.
I don't know.
I'm not ashamed. I am proud of being on online dating. It's a community. Like when you think about it,
Yeah.
I am proud to be part of this community. And I
Yeah.
know, and I'm sure you know that deep down, your time will come, my time will come, all of our times will come.
Hmm.
Don't worry about it. Just enjoy the time right now.
I like that. Did you like my idea of a last remark? Or did you get what I was saying there? Like, if they give me the ick, oh, because I stopped saying that. If they give me the ick or something and I'm kind of like done and I want to just unmatch them, but I want them to know like why I'm unmatching. Or I vice versa. Sometimes when they just do that, you're like, what? What happened?
Yeah.
I'd love to know. I feel like there should be like, if you go to unmatch, it should pop up and go, do you want to leave a last remark? Which means it still unmatches you, but at least it gives you a chance to say exactly what we'd say. That's where I would totally use the whole help you with the dating profile fix. But,
Yeah.
just to be able to say something.
I love that idea. But think about it this way: if a woman or a guy gets constant remarks like that, and it's probably the same thing, they're gonna
Mm.
feel really shitty about themselves. You know, like,
Or they get their shit together and
well,
go, wow, maybe this is a lesson learned.
I'll bring up the height, for example,
Yeah.
because I know height is huge for women, including yourself.
And for me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So if you start having an amazing conversation with this guy and you're like, oh shit, he's fantastic, but he's 5'7",
Hmm.
and you leave a remark saying, I'm sorry, because what are you going to say? You can't fabricate something if he knows and you know that everything is going great. And then
Yeah.
like, I just don't know because there's one thing and you know what that thing is. And I'm sure he later will find out. And if it's the height and if it's,
Yeah, but height's hard because we should know that up front because it's on their profile usually, right?
yeah,
If they
but
don't
if
have
you
it on there,
bypass
that
it,
means they're short.
because if he says something clever, you're not going to go look back at his profile, but oh, this is actually really funny, and you're going to engage with him, and then you're going to look back and say, all right, shoot, he's 5'7", and then you're going to start having more conversations with him, and they're like, oh shit, he's still 5'7", and then you unmatch with them, saying, I'm sorry, you're just not the appearance that I was looking for. He'll know, but if he gets this constantly from other women, he's going to be like, well, no woman is going to fucking love me because I'm fucking 5'7".
5'7".
You know, like,
Uh,
think
yeah,
about that though. That will make
that
a
can ruin
guy,
somebody.
yeah. So I like where your head's at with that, but I'm just saying, think about
Yeah,
that though.
there'd have to be some parameters. Maybe check boxes. Maybe it's like you can't write it in there, but you can check a box of things like you were inappropriate, you
Yeah,
were, right? Like little things so they know why. Because I think a lot of us just go, what just happened there? I don't understand. When sometimes you have no idea why. It's crazy. It's just like a total unmatch. Sometimes though it's bots, it's like catfish. You don't know. You don't know what you're dealing with
do you
sometimes,
come
right?
across a lot of those? A lot of bots and catfish?
Yeah, well, to me, they kind of go hand in hand. I think sometimes I started to figure it out. So I actually saw one recently. It's usually a very good looking guy, very, clean cut, usually almost a little bit European like. And the pictures, there's always at least 5 pictures very distinctively by themselves in every picture, like they're traveling or doing this or that. And
Uh,
then they respond very quick. Like if you match with them, for sure that day I'll get a match back. Always. It's like they're waiting for that. And then as soon as the conversation starts, they start talking about wanting a long-term relationship and like how they're looking for trust and authenticity and all these, they just start throwing that at you. And I'm like, oh, nope. And so you can kind of start to tell it. And it's like, it's just disappointing, but
yeah,
I should know by now.
yeah.
I go in
Well,
hopeful.
whenever I do get a match and I see a woman saying hello or hi, I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you're,
Yeah. I don't know what that's about.
yeah.
Same on a lot of the other apps outside of Bumble. When the guys just sit there waiting for us to say something first, I'm like, go to Bumble if you want me to speak first. I'm a lady.
You're talking about like Hinge and Tinder, Facebook.
Yeah, or Facebook. Yeah, Facebook a lot. If I match with somebody, that'll just sit up there till they expire because I'm not going to be like, hi, how are you? It's just I just want a man to make an effort and to be a man. It's so sexy. It's so sexy to me when a man is like just like charming and talks to you in a nice manner that makes you feel good about yourself and not feel like he's being icky. And when they ask, to take you on a date, they're like, I want to plan it. I hate when they throw their phone number at you. Like they're like, well, hey, call me or text me later or something. And I'm like, what is this? I don't know. Maybe I'm old school. I don't know.
I think
I
it's,
can
oh, so sorry, please.
I had a good example to tell you of a recent. I don't know. I don't think he's listening, but you never know. Um, when I matched with somebody, and I was like, okay, good looking guy, had nice, good profile, very good on the profile, and then we started chatting, and these questions he was hitting me with, there was no room for me to breathe, to speak, to do anything. It was just like boom, 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 boom. And then starts just telling me all about himself in like paragraphs. And I'm kind of, you got to be fair to that because I'm like, okay, I want a guy who communicates, So
Right.
I'm like being kind of nice about it, And then he was like, I would love to take you out. Do you think we could chat on the phone? And I like to do a chat, but I like to limit it to a 30-minute chat because otherwise you start dipping into the friend zone. Anything past 30 minutes, you are learning way too much about them on the first chat, whatever you want to call it. So we did like it went 40 minutes and I was like, hey, okay, hey, I'm going to go, because he was just talking at me, all of this stuff. And so I hung up from there and I sent him a message and I said, listen, it was nice chatting with you, but you are coming on like you are trying to tell me absolutely everything you can about me right now. You're sending me pictures of your kids. You've already like looked me up on Instagram, on Facebook. You know everything about me. And I'm like, I don't even know where this goes. Like, and then we were planning a date for a week out. To me, it should have been during that week just to check in like every couple days and be like, hey, just wanted to wish you a happy Wednesday. Looking forward to meeting with you on Sunday, chat soon or something like that. But he wanted to like have full on conversation all day, every day. And I finally went, I can't. This I can't. And even when I'd stop, I'd tell him and then we'd stop and then he'd come back. So do you have pets? I mean, I'm like, does it matter?
So just so I'm understanding this correctly, you don't want a guy that communicates too much. You just
Too
the
much.
right amount of
Well,
communication.
I just think that what you want to do is leave the majority of this amazing conversation and learning about each other to the date, so that you are not having everything known up front. And then you're walking into the date going, okay, like, well, what are we going to talk about? Because we already talked about this. We already talked about that. Just keep like the anticipation building up until the date. And then you guys can have these really great conversations. But I don't need to know all about his dad's health and his, that his dad likes to golf and his like, why are you telling me all of this now? And I was trying so nicely to be respectful in how I was approaching it. And he even was like, this is really a turn on for me that you're setting your boundaries and you're guiding me here. And I was a little like, you're a grown man. Come on now, so I don't know. This is all very hard to navigate at times, because just like you said, you're like, wait, you want a guy that communicates, but not too much. You want a guy that compliments you, but not in this way. It is tricky.
I
It
get what
is.
you mean, though.
I get
I
that.
gotcha.
Yeah.
You want there
Yeah.
to still be some excitement and
Mhm.
some curiosity. So that leads into
Curiosity,
the
a little
date.
mystery.
Mystery, exactly.
Hmm. Yeah. And a level of respect the whole time. I don't think
Always.
it's that difficult. I
Yeah.
don't think it's that it was difficult for this guy. He kept apologizing. And I'm like, I don't know. It's not my job to teach you how to do this. I don't know.
So you think with
So,
all that being said, with that guy, do you think that
mm.
you're closer, or do you think you're further away from meeting that guy, the right guy?
Oh, meeting the right guy? Oh, I'm definitely closer.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why, because I think that I am in a space right now where I know what I'm looking for. I have boundaries that I'm setting for myself and for them, technically. I don't have this anxiety about dating because I'm very comfortable in my own space. I'm fine whether I have a man or not. And so I think the next greatest one is just around the corner. That's what I think.
Ain't that the truth?
Ain't that
Ain't
the truth? I know. It's exciting. It's exciting. You don't know what's coming.
it is.
That is the fun of dating.
Oh, I love it. I do.
Would you ever want to get married again?
Ooh, that depends. I'm not
Mm,
against it, but she
yeah.
would have to be super amazing.
Super.
Yeah. But we'd have
Yeah.
to be together for
Yeah.
at least 4 years.
4 years.
At least, yeah.
Interesting. Why? Because of the kids?
That's one thing, and I know that with my track record with my ex-wife, we were together for
Mm-hmm.
2 years and we stuck it out. We had a good relationship. So I think that if we can pass at least 3 years, I think we're okay, and I think 4 years is, like, a good stretch to where we are very comfortable with each other, and it's
Mm-hmm.
kinda like the question, "Do you wanna get married? Do we not?" Yeah, but if we get married, great, because we've pretty much gone through a lot of this shit from the
Mm-hmm.
previous 2 years or 3 years, so now this 4th year is just smooth sailing from here on out. So I'm
Mm.
gonna get
What
about
about
4
living
years.
together? Do you live together?
Living together would probably take 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Out of
interesting.
respect for my kids, my ex-wife, and my sanity, because you
Mm.
wanna get yourself reestablished with living with someone, with a significant
Yeah.
other. So you owe that
Yeah.
to yourself.
Mm. Do you have probably my last question for you because I had a whole lot of things I wanted to ask you, but I love when we just chat about this stuff instead. Do you have any parameters around religion? Like who li- like dating? Do you talk about that? How soon do you talk about that?
You know, that is, whew, it's a tough pill to swallow when it comes to dating. That and politics, it's, oh man, I
Yeah.
got tons of stories, but I'm not going to talk about all of them. But to answer your question, I am Catholic. Uh, I follow Jesus. I would consider myself fairly religious.
Mm-hmm.
Guilty. I don't go to church every week. I like to, but for
Mm-hmm.
me, I would like a woman who is religious, who is particular of Christian or Catholic faith.
Do you put it on your profile?
I do.
You
Yeah.
you do? Okay.
I don't make it
I'm
known
trying
like
to think. I
seeking
never looked at it.
God-fearing woman, but I do say that I'm Catholic, and
Yeah.
it would be nice to have someone of equal faith.
Yeah. Interesting. I was just wondering about that.
I think
Hmm.
it's important, especially in today's dating world. I know that and politics are a huge icebreaker or game changer, and I see this all the
Yeah.
time. Is do not go out with me if you're a blah 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 supporter.
I know.
It's just like, man,
Such a turn off right away too.
yeah, you
It's
made
like
this.
we're not even here.
Yeah, yeah, you've made this political and not fun.
Yeah,
And I've gone on
totally.
many dates where that was the. I remember. Do you mind if I tell you this quick story?
Please.
I went on a date with this gal, and on the profile, beautiful. Our communication was awesome. We met up in San Clemente, went out for a drink, and as soon as we got our drinks, the first thing she said to me, shit you not, before I can even cheers, she said, "What political party do you support?" Literally with the straight face. And I'm like sipping, I'm about to sip my drink. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, really? We're gonna do
Yeah.
this now? I was like, are we really gonna talk about this? And she did not even smirk. She was serious.
Only.
So I was like, okay. I was like, well, and I told her, and she obviously was not the same political background.
Oh, oh no.
But here's the crazy thing is she could have gone up and left, but she chose
Yeah.
not to. So what did we do? We turned that date into a 3 hour date.
Wow. Did you
Yeah.
see her again after?
No,
No.
no.
But and I like that you turned it around, but I'm also questioning why, if you are that strict about it, why not ask, why did she not ask that up front? Why wait
I,
to what,
yeah,
get the free drink? I don't know.
maybe.
You know what I
But it was all
mean?
it was
Maybe.
all everything I
Yeah.
have. What you see is what you get on my profile.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's yeah. Oh,
fucking
yeah.
odd.
It's I love it. Well, all right. My last question. So if you're okay, you're having fun with your Connecticut girl, what if somebody comes along in the just random, or you meet them on, I don't know, you're still on the profiles, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah,
Or no?
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to
Well, we talked about this, but yeah, go ahead.
yeah, like then what happens if somebody catches your eye and you want to date somebody here, because that is hard. You're not like you were, that was back what, a few weeks ago, at least 3 weeks ago, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
right, correct.
Okay. So now going forward, and then she's coming next week. So that's another week that we're talking. So a whole month. So you'll maybe see each other once a month if it works out great, right? Are you good with that? Like I'm a
No,
quality time girl. That's not
yeah,
good for me.
yeah, me too. And we actually talked about this. And
Mm,
to answer your question, that if some woman comes my way that happens to live here, I am going to pursue it because why not? And the
yeah.
same goes with her. I made that clear. Is that if a guy happens to come your way and he's close and he's great to you and he's great to your daughter, please, by all means, I want you to be happy. I am not going to get
Yeah.
upset because I still respect you no matter what. I think you're an outstanding human being and I want you to be happy. So if
Mm,
you guy comes your way, hey, I wish you and him nothing but the best. And I
yeah.
know should will do the same for me.
That's good. All right. I like you had these discussions. I approve.
Yeah, we had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
You had to. You're right. Because it's too hard not to
exactly.
when you're, and when kids are involved and you guys are making efforts and financial efforts and all of that. So
Big time.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. All right. Well, I'm glad you were here. I love getting thoughts from a man. This is very helpful. It's very
Yeah.
helpful. I never thought we'd have this kind of relationship, Shervin. This is really nice.
Love it. This was awesome. I love our
I
relationship,
love it.
our
That's
chats.
so good. Yeah, we're gonna do some fun lives together coming up, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna figure out some fun stuff to do. Tell everybody where they can find you if
Where do
they
you
want
want?
to listen to you.
You can find me on Spotify. You know, the normal bullshit. Find me on Spotify, Apple, TikTok, Hidden Innuendos with two N's.
Uh-huh. And
Yeah.
do you have to say that a lot? Innuendos?
Yeah.
And when do you do your lives? Are they set times or just whenever you want to do your hotline?
Just
Feeling it?
whenever. Yeah. Normally it'll be
Okay.
around 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay. TikTok.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it. All right, for you guys listening out there, I hope you enjoyed our conversation. If you have other questions that you want me to ask Shervin from a man's perspective, because we need to get a good man's perspective who knows what he's talking about with dating and love and relationships and heartbreak, then you can email me at Andrea at from Mrs. the number 2 Ms.com and let me know your questions and we will get those answered for you. And you guys can find me anywhere at from.mrs. the number 2 Ms. You guys have a good week. We'll see you next week. Bye.
I love that. That was so awesome.